does will accept nothing short of perfection. And Smash ain't no different. Gonna be starting off on the Terry against Phuzix's Sheik. And actually, interestingly, I think Riddles might be the only non-American rep at this tournament, at least in terms of top players, right?
I think so. He might be the only one to come from Canada.
I can't think of any non-US at all, actually, in our top cut.
Yeah. Yep. Well, let's see if Riddles is going to hold it down for all the international homies out there. Looking really good as we kick off this match. Of course, Sheik, in our hearts, we want this character to be better than what she is. But here, as of late, we've seen players like, you know, Phuzix and like a handful of others really start to pilot this character to top player efficiency. So, and of course, she's still very, very limited just with her damage output, especially going up against a character like Terry, down tilt being frame 6 and -6, one of the safer and more dangerous tools in this kit to put on percent, and that's going to do it right there.
Yeah, you cannot just hold shield in Terry's face. He's eventually going to put enough pressure on you that's all plus that he can poke you and kill you like we just saw right there. And that is, it's like you were saying, Rod, there's one thing that you can describe Terry as. It's definitely not lax damage output, no. But recovery, something that he definitely struggles with from time to time. And when it's linear like that, Sheik, her positioning, her speed is so fast that she can get out there, block Terry, make sure that he can't get back to stage okay. And look at what's going on right here. Okay, lasted a crack shoot, doing Riddles good.
That's right, man. It's leg day. You got to respect the legs, all right? Nice. Again, just putting on some of that tried and true, very cut and dry, as cut and dry as it can be for a Terry player, damage. But of course, Phuzix still holding forward as well, too. Oh my goodness, into the back air. That's going to be enough to get it done.
And it just feels like this matchup is so annoying for Sheik because she does so much work, does so great at keeping, you know, walled out, off stage, stuck on the ledge, and then one hit from Terry and stuff happens. Nope, not quite going to get the drag down into the up smash, but Phuzix was trying to cook something up there.
Yes. A little off the mark, though, but definitely shades of what's to come here pretty soon. Going to go for the up throw, nothing off the up air. But at 117% here and climbing with the gold meter, I can't help but to feel like the stock might be on borrowed time on Phuzix's side. No down tilt.
Feeling a little bit like melee Puff versus Sheik, where like, okay, they can do the big move, and what is Sheik going to do to punish?
That's right.
She doesn't really have that big, you know, all right, you whiffed in my face, now die move.
Yeah, you kind of just have to respect it. Whoa, wait a minute, but you're going to have to respect this. Needles into Bouncing Fish. I think I'm starting to read the terrain here. I think the goal is to get Terry off stage, just exploit that recovery in a way that, you know, most characters like Sheik can do versus the fighting game characters in the cash. You know, you got moves that can nickel and dime them and constantly reposition them. You know, that's exactly what you need.
Yeah, exactly, Rod. Edge guarding is going to be the name of the game for Sheik because she ain't going to be finding kills in pretty much any other way except without great strife to do so.
Okay, match starting to spiral a little out of control right here for Phuzix. There's the immediate nair out of shield into the needles. Doesn't quite get anything off of it. And of course.
Oh, tries that burning knuckle there, and you know what? Second verse, same as the first, run it right back. Ooh. And the second one connects right with Sheik's fragile jaw, sending her straight into the blast zone and sending Riddles up 1-0.
That's right, but you know what though? Making Riddles certainly work for that lunch money, I will say so. Of course, it was no easy feat, especially when Riddles knows I cannot afford to be off stage. You know, on stage, you know, even though Sheik is a lot faster than I am of a character, if we swing at the same time, or if I start to kind of lean into some of my DLC privilege, she's going to be in for a world of hurt. However, an area where my privilege doesn't quite work the same way as it does on stage is the off stage gameplay. You know, we've seen Crack Shoot come through in a big way for him because, again, you constantly get hit by needles. It keeps pushing you out further and further away from the stage. That's where Phuzix really starts to shine.
Missing out on that down air, though, and that's going to give Riddles the escape attempt that he needed to, you know, get back on the ground for a little bit, get his feet underneath him, and then start fighting back once more.
Okay.
Despite the fact that Phuzix has been in control for the majority of this game, Riddles still the one with the damage lead.
That's right.
Quality rather over quantity has been the name of the game in this matchup.
Yeah.
For Riddles.
Maybe not who's swinging, you know, first or fastest, but who's swinging correct. See right now, both sides trying to keep it very, very even, but Riddles currently wants to pull ahead here soon, and Phuzix is trying to hold forward as safely as possible to stop that from happening. Gonna go for the grenade, just giving himself some leverage, some coverage on the way back.
That's the auto cancel. You cannot punish that.
Oh, dang.
It is plus on block, Rod. One of the few things in this game that is truly plus. instead of just, you know, like, okay, your options are more laggy than my minus frames are. But if Riddles is auto-canceling that power dunk right in your face, it is a trap. You cannot punish it.
Gotta respect it. Kind of goes back to what we talked about before. Just, again, moves where even though Sheik is as fast as she is, she's going to have to respect a lot of what's going on. And, yes, gotta respect what just went down right there, man. To the top, Riddles looking powerful as ever.
Phuzix trying desperately to close out this first stock from Riddles. Trying to do it with that needle into Bouncing Fish, but the angle's all wrong, and Riddle's going to be able to get past him into center stage, and okay, finally touches down after that extended advantage state, but an extended advantage state that doesn't KO. These characters are just too different from each other.
No, seriously, man. Big difference. And Riddles right now showing us exactly why. Putting on massive amounts of percent. Okay, just the 1-2 hits on shield. Phuzix trying to play this one safe. Reading the terrain. Checking his temperature. Of course, has him off stage. Crack shoot. Wonderful tech. Same can't be said for Riddles. Phuzix finally gets the stock on board for himself.
Oh, but it's just another burning knuckle. It's not quite enough to close it out like it was during game number 1, but a Sheik in the corner is an unhappy one, and she will not be escaping as Riddles finds another jab, this time, though, into the up B rather than the down B, and that's another game gone. Looking to advance into top 24 with a 3-0 here.
That's right. And doing it in a very, very stylish way, man. Big shout out to, of course, Team Liquid. Loving that jersey. I was actually at DreamHack a couple weeks ago, and I ended up getting a Riddles, a Hungry Box, and a DeBuzz pin. They actually have chibi versions of themselves as pins. So I was like, oh, I'm putting this on the denim jacket immediately. I need people to know how I'm moving out here, right?
I was asking my manager, I was like, man, I don't get a chibi, and they were like, win a major, and I was like, okay, that's fair.
Fair enough, fair enough. It's not enough to coach the player that's going to win the major. They want you to actually get up there and do it, man. Ain't that messed up?
Ain't that the truth of it? And you know what? I can't really argue.
That's right.
I could never do what they do, and they are out there for a reason, like we always say. And Riddles out here trying to close this set out in the fewest games possible.
This might be our first 3-0, depending on how this one all shakes out. Phuzix still playing this one really well, all things considered, knowing exactly what needs to be done. You have to get Riddles off stage, and then you have to hope that he doesn't out-crack shoot your Bouncing Fish or something, you know what I'm saying? So it's still looking good. Gonna go for the jab right into the power dunk. Nice. Standing jab, just kind of chasing him down. Not giving him much here.
Been amazing from Phuzix so far. Just complete control, complete advantage state, but Riddles able to air dodge past the Bouncing Fish. And oh no, Phuzix can do everything right for a full minute, and then he gets down tilted once into the Buster Wolf, and Riddles is suddenly winning the stock, potentially right here.
Nice, and on top of winning, has a positional advantage here, or at least had it once upon a time. Doesn't even need the down tilt anymore. He's just coming through and asking the correct questions. Are you okay?
Up B from Sheik actually winning out in that situation over the Burning Knuckle and giving Phuzix the space that he needed to set up for that back air. So that's going to be first stock, first blood of this game going his way, and he's looking to continue that train here, but no, Riddle's just going to be able to cross him up into the jab, into the rising tackle for a stock of his own.
Right, the real one there that time. Spot dodge into the up tilt. That's just DLC stuff. Sorry, bro. Doesn't get anything off of the up air, but I do appreciate the attempt as well. It's very hard to pinpoint where Sheik's going on her way back down. No down tilt.
I'm still kind of stuck on Phuzix going for footstool down air with Sheik. That was kind of cool. Unfortunately, it's Sheik, so he didn't get anything off of it.
As unfortunate as that is to see, Phuzix, of course, still playing very well. Survivability has to be intact right now. I mean, I'm talking one solidly placed anything in the quarter from Riddles could be enough to do it. Drag down, double back air, triple back air. Give me another one. Oh, he's just slightly off the mark with these Bouncing Fishes.
Oh, but Phuzix goes the wrong way with his Bouncing Fish, and that's going to let Riddles get back to stage nice and safely. Well, maybe. Maybe. He still ain't got back up yet.
Dang,
okay, now he's on stage.
Getting full use out of this Nair, too. Even just the drift away Nair out of shield. Very difficult for Riddles to try to work around. Obviously not the strongest hitting move in the world, but definitely enough to make him rethink the game plan. And you might want to rethink it coming back onto this stage because Bouncing Fish taking no prisoners.
None whatsoever. Very well placed, very well played by Phuzix, and now Riddles, for the first time really in this set, fully on the back foot, but he's not going to stay there for long because all he does off that back foot is push off of it into that dash attack straight away for the stock.
Oh, yeah. 32%, 45 here, and climbing, starting to climb up right now, and nice, catching these a little bit more wild recovery options back onto the stage. I mean, again, that's kind of the nature of crack shoot, so it's not Riddles' fault, but Phuzix right here punishing it all the same. Oh, love that.
Ooh. Looking a little bit dangerous for Riddles right now, especially if Phuzix can put him off stage like he is right now. Might be able to combo into a KO, but the bouncing fish misses. Now Riddles, feet underneath him, has the opportunity to make use of the go mechanic at his disposal.
Okay, it's all a matter of when right now. Doesn't read it properly. Ended up rolling back in. No up tilt. He knows he's going to go for a lot more nairs out of shield, trying to find just an active something to challenge Phuzix in that
fair
regard.
Hit?
Bro, look at, bro. After this, we'll look at Terry's hitboxes. We'll give each other nightmares.
There's people screaming in the crowd when Riddle's going for these Buster Wolves, but Phuzix, he ain't screaming. He's calm, cool, and collected, and he's going to find that F smash off the second whiffed Buster Wolf so that he can put a point on the board and show that he can draw blood here too. He's fighting back.
There's a couple things I think in the narrative of a Sheik match that have to work in her favor for her to win. The first one is, you know, how well can she harass you off stage? We've seen that beautifully done. A couple of the bouncing fishes missed, but the ones that needed to connect definitely did at the 11th hour. The biggest one is, of course, can I out-frame that of my opponent? 90% of the time, Sheik is the fastest character on screen when it comes to swinging, but I think the key factor was Riddles knows my back's against the wall. I can actually just start swinging in a big way as Terry, and my opponent's going to have to respect it. Okay, if you swing too aggressive, I can actually punish it safely and keep you back off stage. Phuzix, again, a master class on how to play Sheik. Let's see if he can do the same thing versus Kazuya, though.
Yeah, I agree perfectly with everything that you were saying there, Rod. However, Kazuya, the one character in the game really that frame data doesn't matter against because he's got so much intangibility, so much invulnerability, and so much ability to take those stocks in the blink of an eye.
That's right, man. I mean, you name it, he's got it. Of course, frame 8 on that God Fist. You know what comes after that, which is usually pain. However, Phuzix trying to, you know, apply the same sort of scenario that we've seen in the last game here. You know, getting these fighting game characters off stage and knowing that they're going to DLC their way back, waiting for them to expend that option, whether it's crack shoot, you know, whether it's an extra jump, and then going for the punishment accordingly. But glowing red right now, never a good sign versus a Kazuya.
Now I got Wind God Fist there instead of Electric Wind God Fist. Probably not on purpose, but it set up for this situation that Riddles now found himself in, and this is something that like really sets Riddles apart from other Kazuyas. He drops combos, everybody does. Nobody can execute Kazuya perfectly, but Riddles, when he drops these combos, when he messes up the inputs, he's still ready to follow up with something else to keep that pressure up.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's most important, you know, making sure that you have options, you know, covering your poor coverage, you know, and just really applying that sort of layer mentality. Okay, this thing missed, what's next? You know, with Kazuya, I almost imagine, you know, you kind of have a much easier task with that because if one of your intangible moves missed, guess what, brother? Just toss out another one.
100% correct. Something that I would actually like to see, because I just saw Riddles use the move. Tsunami Kick, I believe, is the reflector move. I want to see what happens if you Tsunami Kick Needles. Does Sheik just like explode? Well, Sheik does just explode.
Right there,
we'll never get the chance to see that because that's a 3-stock. Riddles, you know, drops one game with Terry and decides not to sugarcoat it any longer. He goes Kazuya, and he absolutely destroys Phuzix in that 4th game.
Yeah, I think there are some avenues with the fighting game characters where you can kind of apply it to each and every one of them, all 4 of them, I guess. Off stage, got to play this one a little bit more carefully. On stage, though, how you handle Terry is much different than how you handle Kazuya. Terry has that ability to stand on one side of the stage and fly directly at you. You can use crack shoot to break your zone. Those legs are going to eat most projectiles. But then you also, again, you have Buster Wolf. You have just everything that can really, you know, pilot Terry forward. Kazuya's a little different. He's like, look, I'm staying stationary. You want to get this job done, you got to come see me in the ring. And not a lot of characters can really no character can go toe-to-toe with Kazuya, but Sheik for sure ain't one of them.
Well, and that's how you beat Kazuya is you don't go toe-to-toe with him. You stay away from him. You wait